Hey, welcome back to today's Thai session. And I know what you're thinking. Where you been? What's going on? Update us. And so, this is exactly that. I'll update you. I'll let you know exactly what's going on, what's been on my mind. And no longer will you be in the dark. What happened this past month? Why was I gone? Hmm. Many questions to answer, and you're going to get all of that here today. So, first, I want to start off by saying that growth is amazing, and everyone who opens up themselves to growth, there's so much that every single day, if you're a student of life, you can learn. I learn a lot from conversations that I have, from people that I meet, from seeing other people do the things that they do. I don't have to do it myself, I can learn through others. And so I've been growing, I've been doing a lot. And so, especially when it comes to self reflection, self reflection is a powerful tool. And if you use self reflection wisely, you can gain a lot of gems from everyday situations that you probably wouldn't even expect. And so, let's get a bit personal today. Let's talk about life. Let's talk about growing. Let's talk about being. Let's talk about a lot of things. So, in this life, you may make many mistakes. As you make these mistakes, sometimes you may be forgiven. Sometimes people will cut you off. Sometimes the mistakes you make hurt people. Now, are you the type of person that can learn from the mistake and then learn how to take different action around what happened? Are you the type of person to people please? Are you the type of person to just continuously bend over backwards and do all the things for everyone? Are you the type of person who tries to find the middle ground? Are you the type of person who finds solutions for every problem presented? Or are you more of a pessimistic person who finds problems for every solution mentioned? And as you self reflect and realize that the person you've been this whole time through this life is also creating the results you have, oftentimes you may wonder, how could you do different actions? How could you get different results? How could you do different when all you know is what you've done and how you've done it before? And so when it comes to this getting personal and all that, and growing and figuring out this journey called life, there is no right answer. There's going to be times when it's better to be observant. There's going to be times when it's better to speak your mind. There's going to be times for everything. And so you cannot beat yourself up over the decisions you've made. Only try to make better decisions. And each of us, as we're living this life, are learning how to make better decisions based on the feedback that we're getting in an everyday life. So, significant growth on my part. Several years ago was my last actual relationship. And since that, I haven't been out dating. I haven't been out doing anything more than pouring into myself and developing myself as a person, working out, mindset, and learning from my previous mistakes, trying to help others not fall down that same path. And some of the biggest lessons that you learn in those types of situations, relationships that don't work out necessarily, you can carry on in so many different ways. And so, if she's out there watching this session, maybe she'll see growth. But the point of it is more or less for us, for me, for you. I make these sessions for myself to look back at and see where I was in a certain time frame and know that in the future, these are going to be little reminders, almost like time capsules. I'll be able to kind of, in a way, speak to myself authentically, but not conversationally. I get my true, real thoughts and I get to share it out here with the world based on also current events that are happening. The state of the world we are in right now makes me often reflect on my previous relationship. And the reason is we're so divided in this society today. We're so polarized in our thoughts and our thinking. And just based on that and the unwillingness to come and try to find a silver lining or a solution that works best for all parties reminds me back of that relationship, because as a person like myself, who I truly believe the only limitation that I have is the one that I set for myself in my own mind. Before the relationship fully ended, it was eating away at myself. And the reason for that is because of my belief that I can achieve the things that I set my mind to. I had set my mind to fixing it. I had set my mind to the fact that, hey, I can literally do a lot of things. I've recovered from an ACL, PCL, MCL, LCL, and meniscus tear, fracture, all of it. There's multiple surgeries. I built up my business from nothing, no entrepreneurial family and things like that, just learning it and doing it and taking action and self-education. And so when it comes to a relationship, couldn't you succeed at that? What's going on there? And then that sense of identity, the failure eats away at your concept of self because you failed, because you couldn't, because you had set your mind to the thing, but you couldn't pivot. You couldn't revise that plan and make it happen. And you have to be okay with sometimes the goals that you set for yourself aren't the actual way or the final way to actually get the achievement you want. In that sense, relationship ending, thinking thoughts of negativity wherever I was in that mindset, in that moment, I realize maybe this specific relationship is teaching me a lot more for my other relationships. If I am falling apart internally and allowing the perspective to eat me alive because I couldn't save it, because I couldn't do XYZ or all these things that I thought, is this also a concept that exists within other relationships? Are you putting a lot of pressure and thought on other situations? And then, are there also situations that may be arising in other relationships that you didn't notice, similar to the close, intimate relationship you have with your ex? um, because then business relationships, personal relationships, whatever it may be, those concepts may exist, but the consequence might not be as upfront. The consequence when you're in a personal, intimate relationship is the breakup, is the leaving, is the fights, is the arguments or whatever. But when it comes to your friends and your businesses, or even just acquaintances, the consequence might not be as upfront. And so, understanding that everything goes to teach you a lesson, as long as you're wise enough to see it, I find often that many different conversations that I have with strangers or even friends that are on topics entirely unrelated go and bring up the concepts of the lessons that I learned in after losing that relationship. And so I live here as a testimonial that you can make it to another side, even if at the time you fought so hard for something you didn't think would leave, would be gone, or whatnot. And it's been several years. It still takes a bit of reflection because of the lessons that are so in your face. It's like with every passing day, I'm growing. I'm becoming a better person, or at least I try to be. And if I were who I am today back then, I possibly would not have lost that relationship. But because I lost that relationship, I learned many lessons that then allowed me to level up and evolve into the person you see in front of you today. And then I'm now able to teach from that perspective of loss what I gained instead. And it also becomes a perspective. Do you focus on what you lost or no longer have, or do you focus on what you are gaining and what you have gained? And when you make a shift on what you have gained or are gaining or are moving towards, you then let go of the narrative that you held in your own mind about what you lost. And I'm not the type who's going to be out here ever to bash the person. They don't deserve it. Why would they? That's not mature. If the person deserves it, of course, then, but they didn't. We're all trying to grow. We're all trying to figure this life thing out. And so, if I can be some bit of help for someone going through their breakup, navigating it, or figuring it out, the only thing I would say the only thing I would say to you would be that I understand. I understand it may hurt right now, and you might not even be able to see past what you're seeing right now, given the fact that it's in front of you. But the moment that you learn that with every passing moment that you held on to that narrative and on to that story of yourself, you're holding yourself back from finding and becoming what you deserve. And because of that, what if you had people who were presenting themselves all that time, trying to get your attention, trying to win you over, but you're obsessed over what you lost? I've been there. I've had, while in the very beginning of it, people trying to get my attention. I'm on social media, I'm at the gym, I'm doing a lot of things. People, women coming up to me, even at the gym, and offering me their numbers, and then we're talking and not taking it further because at the moment I figured I was going to try to fix what I had. All that does, again, once it's broken, it will never be the same. Just like glass, you break it, you can put the pieces back together, but now it's like those stained glass murals where You can see the image, but you can tell it's also, again, broken glass all over to make it. It's never the same. And now, because it's already broken once, there's reasons and things that you could do to break it easier. Or there are the possibilities in which both individuals grew. If both individuals grew from where they were when the break happened, in the future, maybe the versions of each that they grew into were meant for each other. But that is a lot of wishful thinking. You can't get caught up on that. What you gotta do is make your goals, your dreams, your ambition a priority. What you gotta do is be so focused on watering your own grass, you have no time to worry about other people's grass being greener. What you gotta do is get lost on your purpose, because as you're on your purpose, individuals will recognize you're driven, you're on a path, and you're making progress. And they're gonna want to join you and support you. And as you're on that journey and doing the thing, then individuals will present themselves and you can decide from there, is it worth entertaining or not? But holding on to the past is no way to live. What's gone is gone. What's broken is broken. What's in the past is in the past, and you have to be here in the present right now. All we have is the present. That's the greatest gift. That's why they call it a present. But the future is not created by focusing on the past. The future is created by living in the present moment. And you can cast a vision for what you would like your future self to be, giving yourself a step-by-step process that you could do different actions right now to build yourself towards that ideal image that you made in your mind. So be creative. Start to live. Start to do the thing that you need to do for your own personal growth. Watch what happens. I had a great conversation with a friend today. They've been through a lot. I'm not going to drop their name. At one point, they were married, and they're no longer married. And in that time frame, after the divorce of them and their spouse, they went through a lot. A lot. In that time of them going through a lot, they didn't see a way out, but they did find somebody else. And that somebody else, once they started to actually recognize that they were there for them, they built a powerful bond. They then helped each other through their dark, hard times. But he wasn't able to see that at first because he was blinded by what he had lost. And so we all often go through those similar cycles. You lose a job, you lose a loved one, you lose something that you didn't expect. Now your mental narrative has to change. Now you have to shift your focus. Now things are different. Now your habits might have to change. Do you feel discouraged? Do you quit? Do you stop? Or do you keep going? Do you find a way? And it may be difficult, of course, but you got this. You can do it. You can do all things, whatever you set your mind to. But you have to believe truly first at the core. If you don't believe, you probably have a belief of disbelief. That is still belief. And so understanding the concept that what you believe in, you do create. If you're a person who right now hears that and you're saying, but I am not living my best life, You may have beliefs that you don't deserve it. You may have beliefs that are holding you back. You may believe you can only make a certain amount of money. You may believe a lot of things. But until you break those beliefs and push past it, and that's why the 4-step plan to achieve success, belief is number one. It's before step one. You have faith. You have belief in concepts already. You either believe in a thing or you believe that it is not real. You have faith in the thing or you have faith in its inexistence, that it does not exist, that it is not real. And so I've asked this before and I'll ask it again. But what is your line in the sand that you're waiting for? How are you going to grow today? What are you going to do different to start changing your story? As you ponder that, drop in the comments something that you took from this video, of course. I'd love to know in the comments below. So, this has been an update, a new Thai session, and many more are coming. And don't worry, more energy as well. So, make your goals, dreams, and ambition a priority, and I will see you in the next one. Thai Wellness out.